G'day, and welcome to a wide world of webinars, Goway style. My name is Don, Goway's in-house destination expert, and today's topic is Goway's Client Experience Department. It's an unsung section of any company, the Client Experience Department. No matter how well a trip is planned, things can go wrong, be it in the booking stage, pre-departure, or during the trip. Some things are in our control, some things are not. COVID maybe? Regardless, Goway's mandate and desire is to ensure the smoothest experience for you, our partner in travel, and as importantly, if not more important, the end user, the Goway Globetrotter. Our founder's statement captures the core philosophy of Goway and in turn our client experience team. Goway's customer promise is to ensure that each traveler is so delighted with our services that they return to travel with us again. But as importantly, they recommend Goway to their family and friends. Goway's mission is to empower our community of Globetrotters to realize a lifetime of travel. After 50 plus years, we continue to stand by our product from the start to when our new or old Globetrotting family members return from their trip. Now, 9 times out of 10, you won't even know we have a client experience department, as the booking through to travel runs like clockwork. That is usually how it goes anyway. Or there is a glitch and it is solved before it even becomes an issue. Now, this happens more often than you may think. When you experience our client experience is when, in those relative few instances, there are larger issues, be it operational or at a customer service level. Then, our client experience department, in sync with our GMs and or VPs, work to get it solved and find that perfect solution. Now, it goes without saying these past months have been a challenge for everyone from all walks of life, and our client service team have played hard and done good, as a rugby coach back home was wont to say, throughout these challenging times. Throughout all this and manning the ship is Dave Zolis, our client experience GM. Dave is here with me today, and we are both going to go over how any client experience issue, good or bad, is handled by Goway and why our team, from top to bottom, will ensure your client has the best possible experience. So, Dave, tell us a bit about yourself in the world of client experience.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me today, Don. Appreciate that. The world of client experience, never a dull moment. And I think that's the most exciting part about my job. And at the end of the day, ensuring that the experience our passengers have, is absolutely paramount to us. And it's what we strive for every single day, like Don, like you had mentioned.
So the obvious question would be in these current times is how did COVID affect your world?
Certainly tough times. I mean, obviously a lot happened very quickly, and at the end of the day, we worked tirelessly to ensure that the impact on our clients, either those in destination at the time that things started to unravel, to those planning on traveling in the months following sort of mid-March of 2020. And at the end of the day, it was very difficult because a lot of the stuff, a lot of the issues that we faced were outside of our control, which was challenging. But we certainly did all we could to ensure the impact was minimal.
Okay, so obviously it was a challenging time, as I mentioned before, for everyone, and more so probably for customer service experience teams in any industry. So now that we're heading back into, let's say, normal times, or somewhat, I guess the new normal is the new catchphrase. Can you give our audience an insight of pre-trip challenges you've run to before? Now, this doesn't have to do with COVID per se, but just things that may pop up in the booking process, which can sometimes come back to bite us or our travel partners.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. And I think actually, even more so now in COVID times and the way that travel is these days is really, an understanding of the itinerary. And I think that, lies with our destination specialists and the communication between our team and yourselves, but also between us and our mutual passengers whom are traveling. And I think what's key now is because there's a lot of changes and a lot of differences between travel pre and post COVID. I think we have to ensure that our clients are fully aware of what their itinerary entails, and that may seem like a silly statement, but pickup times, where to be for pickup times, what an excursion entails, flight timing, connection timing, baggage allowances, especially things like PCR testing requirements as far as entry into certain countries. All of those things are key. So we really need to ensure that, whether it's a thorough discussion, a Zoom call or a three-way conference call with between ourselves and the passengers collectively, or if it's just us ensuring that you are clear on the itinerary. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways, and that sort of alleviates a lot of the issues that we see. Like I said, that are amplified now in COVID times.
Sure. Now, as Dave mentions too, it might seem like a not silly but a small point to cover the itinerary before clients travel, because you've worked so hard with your client to ensure it's done and done right. But by the nature of Goway's product being customized, as Dave mentioned, there are all these little things that can come into play and can be forgotten about or not truly understood as the customized itinerary comes together. So again, that's a very, very important point, to ensure that you go over the itinerary with your clients anytime before travel, because we can fix things up almost until the last minute, but please make sure that everyone is on the same page, basically. So Dave, of course, in countries where most outside influences can make a bigger and huge impact at times on our Globetrotters trips, so have you got any examples of things that have happened during a trip and how the Goway client experience team has helped solve that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there's going to be minor blips. There's going to be issues that occur, and I think it's key to know that we are here 24/7, 365 to support our passengers and you in destination. While our passengers are in destination, we have local teams that are there for the passenger support as well, should an issue occur. But to answer your question, I would say most of the things are just minor logistical issues, and again, perhaps maybe lack of clarity. But if there's a concern, and I think maybe we can talk about this a little bit afterwards, but if there's a concern in destination, we absolutely welcome our passengers to contact us after hours, during business hours, whatever, to ensure that we can certainly work with them to clarify and to get them back on track.
Wonderful. So, and it's worth pointing out too that obviously as COVID kicked in, Goway across the board, particularly our customer experience team, went into overdrive getting people home. I was one of them, actually. I was a day or two away from an Antarctica trip, and internally I was assisted to getting home. Talking from the Latin American experience, the department I used to manage, often we'd have clients suffer from altitude sickness. And as Dave mentioned, you can contact our customer experience team 24/7, but more often than not, it's our local operators and partners who step in first and solve the problem in country, as I just mentioned. And with altitude sickness, we had our operators step in, get clients to hospitals for overnight services and checking on them, etc., at their hotel room. So often it doesn't get to Dave and his team, as I mentioned before, because it is handled locally, but your clients have every right and every opportunity to contact us if they want, or you, our travel partner, and then Dave and his team kick into gear and can solve any problem. And generally speaking, we do get it all under control, and everyone walks away happy from any experience, bad experience, be it small or good. So, Dave, that's all what can happen in country. So, what happens when a client returns back home to North America?
Yeah, and absolutely great question. I love hearing the stories of the experience that our passengers have while in this destination, and I welcome feedback, whether it's whether it's good, whether it's not so good. Post trip, we reach out to our partner agents with a post travel survey. Of course, customer service at goway.com, or even just reaching out to myself directly. Please feel free to share any feedback. And in conjunction with that, we have partnered a number of years ago with a company called Trustpilot. Trustpilot allows us to collect and document attributable reviews from our passengers post-travel and display those on our website. And you can see here that about a 4.7 rating out of 5 stars. We're approaching a pretty big milestone internally of 3,000 reviews, which is a testament. And you can see there about 93%, I believe it is, of those 3,000 reviews are 4 and 5 stars, and that speaks to the service, to the experience, to the to our product offering, and then again, understanding that the client experience post travel is absolutely key, and we welcome all of that feedback.
So I'd just like to point out that, of course, we've just highlighted the things that can go wrong or things that can possibly go wrong and then when our client experience team processes really kick in. But hopefully you don't hear from Dave and his team, as like most time, things do go like clockwork. What is key to know here that moving stealthily in the background is Dave and his team of client experience experts, ensuring any hiccups are dealt with often before your client is even aware there was an issue, as I mentioned before. So, Dave, is there anything you'd like to say before we open the digital floor to any questions?
Don, I think really again, just that open line of communication. We work to tirelessly to ensure that the experience our passengers have prior to travel is set up and everything runs smoothly. So certainly post trip, if there's any concerns, please feel free to reach out to us anytime, and I'd be certainly glad to assist if need be.
Well, that does it. We are fully aware here at Goway that when you hand your clients into our trust, it is not only our reputation on the line, but yours as well. All of us here at Goway, from top to bottom, value the trust you place in us to ensure you and your clients have a memorable and problem-free trip. Dave and his team are working 24/7 to ensure you never hear from him, and in his world, no news is usually good news. So, until next time. This is your captain speaking. We know you have a choice when attending webinars. We hope that you found today's webinar fun and informative. We look forward to welcoming you back to our next webinar. Thank you all very much for signing in today. We appreciate the time that you take to listen in. Keep an eye out for more of Goway's wide world of webinars, or Goway www. And as always, hit the like button, share the video, and of course subscribe and hit the alerts button to stay up to date on all the latest, updates. Goway can be found at all these favorite social media channels. Until next time.